burn.
And look at Randy Orton slithering.
Oh, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
KO! Here's the cover. Look for the ladder. And the Legend Killer picks up the victory.
Ask any racer, any real racer. It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
Hey, Jamie, losing's never fun, but here's something to pick your spirits up. It's real nice. I got it at Target. It's on sale.
You reap what you sow, partner.
If you love me, please don't judge me. Got my hands tied, the power's above me. Don't shoot the messenger, I'm just a puppet here. If you wanna place blame, then look to the puppeteer. Family, fortune, envy, jealousy, privilege, passed on, legacy, secret, sabotage, borderline, felony, suicide, subtract, selfish, pedigree, yeah.
Man, oh man. Just when you think Alex Bowman is cooked and done, just when you think you're all the way out on Bowman, he finds a way to pull you right back in. He just somehow suckers you in. Just when you think he's down and out, he'll just come out and pull some magic and back right into another win. Man, Alex Bowman, how the fuck does he keep pulling it out of his ass? Like, somebody check his ass for ferrets, because I think his asshole's a fucking Walren. Like, we need to check the back of Alex Bowman's 48 car, because I think Alex Bowman is keeping the rabbits stuck in that trunk. Because how does Bowman keep getting lucky in this situation? Like, man. But in all seriousness, Bowman earned this win 100% fair and square. On some strategy and some late race magic, and then having to hold off both Kyle Busch on 4 fresh tires and then Kyle Larson on the last turn. Like, man, this race, it was exactly what racing needs to be and what needs to look like. Because if this was the 550 race, Larson more than likely pulls away with it. But yeah, this race overall didn't really have a dominant car overall. Before we talk about what happened, though, this week, we need to talk about what the other races that happened this week. So, first off, we had the truck race. The truck race, and of course, this truck race was the first start for Kyle Busch in the Truck Series. God help us all. So, yeah, but this race, Kyle Busch was mainly up there, too, along with Chandler Smith. Chandler Smith had the fastest truck all night, even faster than Kyle Busch. We then had the incident late in the race between Kyle Busch and Christian Eckes, and let me be honest about that incident. As the biggest Kyle Busch hater on this platform, I'm going to say it here, Kyle Busch did not dump Eckes. That incident is 100% Christian Eckes' fault. Eckes tried to block Kyle Busch, and Kyle Busch was already there. And Kyle Busch was not going to give up. So, yeah, so Kyle Busch didn't wreck Eckes. Eckes wrecked himself. So, you think in that situation, you think just because Kyle Busch turned somebody, I'm just going to go ahead and be biased and hate Kyle Busch and call him an asshole for that, right? Nope, gotcha, bitch. Not this time. So, yeah, everyone that keeps saying I'm some kind of biased Kyle Busch hater that just hates Kyle Busch off some petty bullshit, man, some of you need to shut the fuck up. Like, there are times where I'll give credit where it's due. I call this how I see it, and Kyle Busch did not wreck Eckes. Eckes wrecked himself. Like, Eckes tried to block Kyle Busch, and he was not clear of Kyle Busch. So, yeah, and it was a late race. But, yeah, in the end, this race ended up coming down to the end between Chandler Smith and Zane Smith. You know, they had a really great battle between those two coming to the line, but then on the last lap, Chandler Smith would edge out Zane, and Chandler Smith gets his first win of the season, winning in Las Vegas. So, Chandler Smith. And also, John Hunter Nemechek was also part of that battle, too. He also ended up with a flat tire on the last lap and ended up deep in the field, so oof on him. But yeah, Chandler Smith, he picked it up where he left off last year. And now Chandler Smith, it seems like ever since Chandler won Bristol, the floodgates have now opened for him in the Truck Series, because now he gets his third career Truck Series win, and Chandler Smith becomes the first KBM driver to lock himself into the chase. The fact that Chandler Smith got himself locked into the truck chase before John Hunter Nemechek is kind of surprising and shocking. Like, John Hunter Nemechek, it seems like that late season collapse he had last year, it's continued into this year because John Hunter Nemechek cannot catch a break this year. Jesus fucking Christ. Man, that sucks for Nemechek, because Nemechek's damn good. But yeah, now Kyle Busch's first Truck Series start, he is unsuccessful. Now, originally, it was a third place finish, but it would end up being moved to a second place finish because before we wrap the Trucks race up, hold up, we got a penalty. Beep. And yes, I finally got a flag for it this time. Because we had our first DQ of the season with Zane Smith. Because Zane Smith, NASCAR didn't like something with the lug nuts on his truck. Now, all 5 lug nuts were there. But NASCAR said there was some kind of illegal modification made to the lug nuts. And there's one thing NASCAR don't like. They don't like you manipulating with the nuts. With these nuts. Got him. So as a result, Zane Smith loses his second place finish to disqualification. Damn, so that whole battle between Chandler Smith and Zane Smith was for nothing anyway. But either way, so with Zane Smith being DQ'd, it just meant that Chandler Smith was going to win anyway. Okay, so that doesn't really change anything. Except that it kind of screws Zane Smith in the points, man, but yeah, that's kind of going to derail any momentum Front Row Motorsports had to open this season. You know, with the win at Daytona 2 weeks ago and now losing the second place finish to DQ. It's alright, just shake it off and you'll be right back at it in 2 weeks at the new Atlanta Motor Speedway when the trucks are next in action. Now, the Xfinity race was a bit of a clusterfuck at the start because 3 laps in, you had Ty Gibbs being a little bit aggressive and kind of just barely nudged Ryan Sieg out of the way, and then Sieg lost control and hit the wall. And I know a lot of Twitter complained about it, saying, boo, what a dick by Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs is a religious cunt. How could he do that? He committed a sin that not even the God devil wouldn't commit. But yet, when Dale Sr. did that type of shit, he was praised for it. I guess wrecking people is only okay, as long as the driver fits the fan base's narrative and mold and agenda. But that's a topic for another day. Anyway, though, at that 19 laps in, we would get a red flag for snow in March in the Nevada desert? Huh? Okay, it was technically sleet, but it's kind of the same shit, just a different name and toilet. But yeah, that's kind of weird. Yeah, 2022 has so far been a bit of a fucked up year. But yeah, eventually though, and under that red flag break, Ty Gibbs and Ryan Sieg would talk out what happened on the track and give both their sides of it, which ended with Ryan Sieg giving Ty Gibbs a little bit of a love tap on the shoulder. And then hinting that Ryan Sieg saying that Ty Gibbs, he committed a sin the devil wouldn't commit. He must be punished for his act of treason. And Ty Gibbs said that he apologized for it and that he just wanted to move on, but if Sieg wanted to get his payback to compensate, then so be it. But yeah, and then once we get back racing, a few hours back in the racing, and then Ryan Sieg, he would then pull off one of the worst attempts at payback ever. Because when Sieg was about to get lapped, he would then try and force Ty Gibbs and wreck him and send him straight into the wall. Ty Gibbs would hold his car straight and make Ryan Sieg spin out. And then Brett Moffitt and Sheldon Creed get minor damage in the conflict. Yeah, Ryan Sieg, if you were trying to get payback at Ty Gibbs and wreck him, that isn't the way to do it. That ain't it, Chief. Like, seriously, that was one of the worst fucking attempts at payback I have ever seen. Fuck. I mean, Chase Elliott had more goddamn dignity last week when he tried to screw Larson out of the win and failed. And oh, by the way, with Chase Elliott trying to screw Larson out of the win last week, that was also the first time in Chase Elliott's career that he tried to teach someone a lesson and failed. And this week, Ryan Sieg tried to teach Ty Gibbs a lesson and failed. Man, what the fuck do people see in Ryan Sieg? Sieg fucking sucks. He can't even wreck someone properly. Like, let's just say this here. Ryan Sieg should definitely take Landon Castle's advice from 2012 for sure.
Well, rule number one of stock car racing is learn how to wreck someone without wrecking yourself.
And that's where we're going to leave that. But yeah, rest of the race, though, this race was mainly dominated, by Gragson and Allgaier and Hemrick and all them. Even Barry at one point. Like, there are a lot of comers and goers in this race, but the fastest car throughout much of this race was definitely Noah Gragson. But then the end of the race would end up being a complete shit show with restart after restart after restart. Like, throughout the first half of the race, though, Noah Gregson's pit crew was literally looking like dog shit, cost them spots on pit lane. But by the end of the race, they were able to get their heads out of their asses and finally figure it out. And then Noah Gragson, it looked like he had the car to beat, and then a couple more late race restarts happened. And then with 5 to go on the final restart of the race, Noah Gragson would have a bad restart. And with that, who would end up getting the lead? It's Ty Gibbs. Wait, Ty Gibbs got the lead late? Even after that piston match with Ryan Sieg and Sieg failing to get payback at Ty Gibbs? So yeah, Ty Gibbs, he would end up getting the lead, and he would hold off Noah Gragson until the last lap, when the caution would come out after both of them took the white flag for a wreck at the back. So Ty Gibbs would end up being the leader at the moment of caution, and Gibbs gets the win. And I'll say this, any race that ends under caution is always a sin. So yeah, Ty Gibbs gets his 5th career win and his first of the season winning in Vegas. So Ty Gibbs has now officially locked himself into the Xfinity chase. I mean, we weren't doubting this one bit. I think almost everybody and their mothers have Ty Gibbs as a championship contender this year. So yeah, for anyone that hates Ty Gibbs, get used to him winning this year. Because this championship is more likely going to be between Ty Gibbs and Noah Gragson. Unless Daniel Hemrick bullshits his way to back-to-back championships. But man, heartbreak for Noah Gragson. But yeah, for Ty Gibbs winning and Sieg failing to get payback, yeah, who could have predicted that Ty Gibbs is going to win after that failed attempt? Because to let this race win from Ty Gibbs prove a lesson to everybody. This is what happens when you don't put the stake in Dracula's heart. He always comes back for blood every fucking time. So yeah. But yeah, I so far have no ill will toward Ty Gibbs. At least not yet. I don't understand. I don't understand why everyone hates Ty Gibbs so much other than the religious thing. Like, I think Ty Gibbs is just heavily misunderstood. But hey, it's my opinion. Everybody's entitled to one at the end of the day, regardless if it's misguided or not. That's a topic for another day. Now, before we get into the Cup race, though, we do have to address the big problem at Noah Fontana between Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson. Because we all saw how mad Chase Elliott was after Kyle Larson blocked him into the wall last week. And there were tensions at HMS following that incident. Of course, HMS General Manager Jeff Andrews promised that they would talk to both drivers during the week leading up to Vegas to try and settle this out and end this pissing match quickly. Of course, this started off with Mr. Rick Hendrick. Of course, leading the team meetings this week and then having talks with both Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott about the incidents and getting their sides of it in the solution. And then at Vegas, both Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson would talk and apologize to each other following the events of what happened, and Larson even giving Chase an apology, and Chase appreciating it. So, from the sounds of it, Any tension between the two after Fontana is now squashed. And now can I say to the Chase Elliott fans, truce? Truce? We good now? Yes? Okay. Fair enough. Alright. And of course, HMS also gonna help out more this week, because this week with the big crisis happening in the Ukraine, Rick Hendrick has also decided to donate $200,000 to Sanitarian's Purse in support of the Ukraine relief. Along with the fact that for every lab an HMS driver leads at Las Vegas, they will donate $20,000 for every lab led at Vegas. Not only that, Richard Childress from RCR is also going to donate 1 million rounds of ammunition to the Ukraine army for the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. And of course, on the F1 side, the big blow has finally happened. Haas has finally fired Nikita Mazepin because of the conflict in Russia. Even though Nikita Mazepin, a Russian driver, is 100% against the conflict in Russia and between Russia and Ukraine, and even wasn't going to compete under the Russian flag this year and was going to compete under the neutral flag. But in the end, Haas decided it was time to fire him and let him go, because the UK was going to ban all Russian and Belarusian drivers from competing in any British race this year. So Haas was guaranteed to lose Mazepin for one race, and the Haas decided just to cut ties. I'll admit, it is kind of a shitty thing to fire Mazepin over the whole conflict thing, when Mazepin was heavily against it. Mainly because Mazepin's father had close ties with Vladimir Putin, but Mazepin was against it. Like, don't get me wrong, the whole thing between Russia and Ukraine is fucked up. But just because Nikita Mazepin is Russian, that doesn't mean he should lose his entire career over the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. But at the end of the day, I can understand why Haas had to fire him, because at the end of the day, it was bad PR to keep Mazepin, and it really didn't matter if they fired him or not. It was a lose-lose situation for Haas, because Haas was screwed if they kept him. They were screwed if they were gonna let him go. And I mean, the main reason Mazepin came to Haas was because of the Eurocali sponsor. And with Haas terminating the Eurocali deal, that just pretty much takes away the one reason Mazepin was at the team to begin with, like all the funding Mazepin had. So now the question at Haas is, who do they now replace him with? Do they go with a Pietro Fittipaldi, who's the reserve driver? Do they go with Antonio Giovinazzi, who's the reserve driver for Ferrari? Do they bring him in? Or do they go for a veteran driver to bring stability into the team, like maybe a Nico Hulkenberg? Like, if I was running Haas, I would more than likely try and bring in Nico Hulkenberg for stability. Plus, with the new car this year for Formula 1, I think you would want to have a veteran in there to help you improve the car. I honestly feel like Nico Hulkenberg would be a better fit than Pietro Fittipaldi, because we all saw Pietro in those 2 races he ran in 2020 to replace Grosjean. And Pietro was very bad. He was garbage as shit. And let's be real, if Pietro Fittipaldi competes in it this year, he's more likely going to be one of the worst drivers in the field this year. Or maybe Haas looks at bringing in Robert Kubica. I mean, Kubica or Hulkenberg would be good options. I think Haas needs to go for a veteran to bring stability to the team. But yeah, this now officially confirms that Haas is now the biggest shit show in Formula 1. Maybe Haas is better off selling their assets to Andretti. If Andretti just wants to buy an established team instead of just building from the ground up. Or maybe, just maybe, would Haas sell everything to Hendrick Motorsports? Because Jeff Gordon did speak about expanding Hendrick Motorsports to other motorsports. They're talking about potentially other racing leagues like an IndyCar or an IMSA, or maybe even potentially Formula 1. And I did hear it, and there was that rumor going around last year about HMS potentially buying Haas F1. Could this whole thing open the door to that? We'll have to see. I mean, if HMS ends up going to F1, I'm going to be pretty torn because I'm already a Ferrari fan for F1. So, it's going to be tough. If I'm going to stab the Tifosi in the back or not to join the HMS family. To stay with the HMS family because family is family. But anyway, with all that said, it's now time to focus on the Cup race at Las Vegas. So yeah, this Vegas race, it really was a comers and goers race. You had Christopher Bell lead early. And then you had Alex Bowman win stage 1 out of nowhere, which is like, okay, that's interesting. Like, you had a number of different leaders, a number of different cars up there. Like, throughout much of this race, it was the most dominant car in this race was Ross fucking Chastain. No watermelon man led the most laps in this race, you know. But late in the race, though, Kyle Busch would then get the lead ahead of Chastain off pit strategy right before a caution came out for Denny Hamlin forgetting how to shift the car and then breaking the transmission entirely, ending his day. Yo, Hamlin, remember when you called Alex Bowman a hack? Life comes at you fast, doesn't it? And then Kyle Busch, he would get the lead on that late restart. And then it ended up being a late race battle between Kyle Busch and Mark Truex Jr. But then Truex would burn up all his stuff. And when it looked like Kyle Busch was going to pull away and win at his home track, with 3 laps to go, we would get the turning point of the race. When Eric Jones would lose a tire, hit the wall, and then spin back up the track and then collect Bubba Wallace. He collected Bubba Wallace. Oh no, Eric, you took out Bubba. Oh, the liberals are not gonna like that. Oh no. Anyway. So yeah, then the race, it would end up going to overtime. I have to keep track here. Is this the second race we've had in overtime at 3 races, or the first one this year? Correct me if I'm wrong, if the Daytona 500 went to overtime or not. I'm pretty sure it did, but correct me if I'm wrong. So yeah, and then we get a round of pit stops before overtime. So then Kyle Busch and company would all take 4 tires along with Chastain and Truex Jr. But the 3 HMS cars of Kyle Larson, Alex Bowman, and William Byron would pull a strategy call and would take 2 tires and would go out 1, 2, 3. So 3 HMS would go 1, 2, 3, and then Chase Elliott would take 4 tires. And oh yeah, how did Chase Elliott respond to that whole thing with Kyle Larson this week? Running like absolute ass. Like, don't let that second place finish in the chase at Vegas fool you last year. Chase Elliott sucks at Vegas. Like, Vegas is one of Chase Elliott's worst tracks. Like, don't let that second place finish fool you. That second place finish is just a false illusion from reality. Don't worry though, Chase Elliott fans. Phoenix is next week, one of Chase's better tracks. Maybe Chase Elliott can finally win an oval race next week. But yeah, anyway, we get to the overtime restart. And then, after the first turn, it ended up being a battle between Larson and Bowman for the win, where both drivers leaned heavily against each other. And then Kyle Larson on the final turn, Larson would try and pinch Bowman on the apron, but Bowman would then use his big dick Bowman energy, and Bowman would power through and get right past Larson, even getting Larson a little loose off turn 4. And Alex Bowman comes out of nowhere and wins at Las Vegas. The track killer strikes again. So yeah, with Bowman winning at Las Vegas, now what happens to Las Vegas now? Because every track Bowman's won at has had issues, has had something happen to it the following year. So yeah, also I should say here, rest in peace Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Yep, Vegas, another track that's about to fall victim to the Bowman Curse. But yeah, and with Alex Bowman winning this race, Bowman becomes now the second HMS driver to lock himself into the chase. Yeah, I'm pretty confident we're going to have all 4 HMS drivers in the chase again for the second year in a row. Because I'm pretty confident Chase Elliott and William Byron are both going to win at least one or two races this year, for sure. Yeah, Bowman was the biggest question for sure this year. Like I've always said it before, Bowman has the tools to be a talented and successful driver. He just has to be more goddamn consistent because Bowman is very inconsistent. Like, Bowman is hit or miss most weeks. Like, I'll say it for sure in the chase, Bowman is more likely in the chase going to be a boom or bust type driver this year. He's going to be one of the biggest boom or bust drivers in the chase for sure. If the Bowman's inconsistency issues strike again this season. But, I mean, if Iceberg's theory about Las Vegas spring race determining who will compete for the championship is true, then maybe Bowman versus Larson could be a potential preview of who's competing for the title this year. Because if you look at HMS the last 2 years since 2021, the two most successful drivers at HMS from this year, from last year and this year, in the last 38 races, the two most successful drivers are Kyle Larson and Alex Bowman, with Larson having 11 wins and Bowman having 5 wins now in the last 38 races. So yeah, I mean, if Bowman could be more consistent, he could be a dark horse contender for the championship if he could be fucking consistent for once in his life. But yeah, and I'll just say this though, Kyle Larson fans, if Alex Bowman's in the championship race, you better be scared of Bowman. Because I'll say this here as a Larson fan, Bowman 100% has Kyle Larson's number. Because this is now the third time that Kyle Larson and Alex Bowman have finished 1-2. And Alex Bowman, he's won on all 3 occasions. Chicagoland 2019, Dover 2021 during the HMS 1-2-3-4 sweep, and now Vegas 2022. So yeah, if Larson and Bowman end up battling for the championship and it comes down to those two at Phoenix in November, there's a good chance Bowman could beat Larson for the title. Unless Larson can figure out how to beat Bowman. I mean, Larson fans can make all the jokes they want about Larson owning Chase Elliott and being Chase's real metaphoric daddy all they want. But make no mistake about it, Alex Bowman has Kyle Larson's number. I mean, there are some drivers you match up well against and then some others you don't. And Kyle Larson, he doesn't match up well with Alex Bowman. Like, Bowman has Larson's number, for sure. Because, yeah, especially when Bowman's beaten Larson on 3 occasions. And Larson hasn't beaten Bowman on 1 occasion. Not even 1. The closest Larson has come to beating Bowman in a 1-2 finish was that Pocono race last year when Larson blew his tire on the last lap. But yeah, still though, a solid run for Larson, and now Kyle Larson's the points leader. So yeah, the reigning champ just picking up where he left off last year, dominating every foe in sight. But in the end for Larson, only a brick wall can stop him. Its name is Alex Bowman. So yeah, Bowman gets the win, but can Bowman actually be fucking consistent for once in his life? The next 23 weeks should tell that tale for itself. But but we all know for a fact Bowman's more likely going to at least make it to the round of 12 next year. Now, if Bowman can only be consistent for once. But yeah, anyway, that wraps it up for this week. So now, on to Phoenix next week. And next week, HMS now enters in the driver's seat to sweep the West Coast swing because Larson's won Fontana and Bowman's now won Vegas. Can HMS sweep the West Coast swing? Tune in to Phoenix next week to find out. Also, ARCA's back next week, and we also got the season opener for the ARCA West Series, which is a joint race with the ARCA Series at Phoenix. So we got that looking forward to, and I believe IndyCar's next week too, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, we got that too. And of course, in 2 weeks is also the F1 season opener in Bahrain. So yeah, motorsports racing is officially back in business. You love to see it. But yeah, especially in March. And also, if you look at the ratings, so I should mention them. The ratings have been looking pretty good so far for NASCAR this year. I think part of the ratings growth so far this year is mainly because the MLB's in that lockout right now. But hey, give kudos to NASCAR for taking advantage of a situation. I said if NASCAR can capitalize on the MLB lockout, they could potentially get the ratings back up. Because right now that lockout is showing no signs of ending because they already canceled the first two sets of games for 2022, including MLB opening day. Fuck's sakes, am I gonna see the Tigers play at all this season? Damn it. But yeah, anyway, that wraps it up for this week. See y'all later. On to Phoenix. NASCAR heavyweight champ out.